Hello, everybody. Welcome to Haiku Talk. I'm your host, Ben Ga, your friendly neighborhood haiku poet. Today, we're going to take a look at another one-line haiku, this time from the latest issue of the Herons Nest from poet Kim Klugh. Now, this one, to kind of put some sort of like air quotes title on it, I'm going to use the last two words of this 5-word poem because it's the way it's really going to make sense. So this one by Kim Klugh we'll call Blue Heron. So without further ado, sit back, grab yourself a tasty beverage, and let's haiku. Welcome back. Enjoying this. It's UCC Coffee with Milk, Japanese canned coffee company from 1969. Bought it just on a whim, and it's very tasty. Truly a tasty beverage. So today, we're looking at a poem called Blue Heron from Kim Klugh out of the latest issue of the Herons Nest. It's another one-line haiku. And this one-line haiku works a little bit differently than the one we looked at last week in last episode. And one-liners, they are peculiar little beasts. They can work in a lot of different ways. And this one, it's just one of these poems that when I came across it, I run through the episode, the latest issue, and Herons Nest, pound for pound is just a wonderful, wonderful haiku journal. You're not going to go wrong with many poems in that one. And for whatever reason, this one just really stood out for me. And I think it's because it is only 5 words, and it involves the blue heron, which I love. And it's just one of these poems that is just memorable. I think I'm going to just remember this for a long time without having to really think much about it. It's just a really nice, concise, great poem that, it's like a song jingle in my head. I'm going to remember it. Maybe you will too. So let's take a look at this poem. It goes like this. Out of the blue heron. Out of the blue heron. I want to say it one more time. Out of the blue heron. It's just fun. It's just fun. And the way that it works is you have a common phrase, which is out of the blue, and then you actually have a bird called a blue heron, and they meet in the middle on that word blue. That's it. That's all it's doing. And because of those two things and how they meet in the middle in such a pleasant, delightful way, I just really dig this, Maybe it's just clever and yet somehow fresh, and somehow, I just become meditated and focused on the blue heron. And when we think of the general phrase "out of the blue," well, that means just comes out of nowhere, out of the blue. Or could think of it as out of the blue sky, or out of the blue water, or whatever. But it just comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, you have the blue heron. And these birds are just magical birds. They're big, they're quiet. Unless they squawk at you, then they can be pretty loud. But they're like freakishly big. You don't really realize how big they are until you come close to them. Or if you really look at their wingspan when they're flying, they're big birds. And, they're just amazing to look at. Very patient hunters. If you ever get the opportunity to sit and really just watch a blue heron hunt for fish, it's an amazing thing. And yeah, that's what this poem does. It takes me right there. Sits, pulls a blue heron right in my field of view. And I love the poem for it. And that's it, really. Today's episode is nice and short and sweet. It's that juxtaposition of the phrase out of the blue and the blue heron, and they meet in the middle, create a little tension. It creates this pop of a moment, and it pulls you right in. The blue heron just interrupts the line almost. It's coming at you out of the blue heron. And sometimes that's all it takes. Thanks for tuning in. Like this episode if you liked it. Please think of subscribing if you like what's going on here at the channel. It does help the algorithms and helps us bump into people's search engines. It's always kind of fun to think about this channel popping up into somebody's search for something else. And if you do like and you do subscribe, think about ringing the bell to get notified when new episodes come about. So until next time, out of the blue heron. Cheers.